Welcome to 15 minutes of one more minute. I'm gonna remember to say this now, is that if you're watching this on Instagram, I don't know how long these videos are gonna last, where I'll be able to post the full video. So if you want to see all of it, follow my YouTube channel, which is in the link in my bio. The channel is just Raw Ford, or Raw Ford Actor, I think, similar to this. But yeah, because I'm posting all these there too. And that's also where my Dragon Age deep dive videos are going, which I'm almost done with the second one, which is coming out December 6th, which I'm really excited about. And then the video after that is a completely different format, which I'm really excited about to try, because that's going to be more of a, it's going to be different than just like talking with things popping up, so it'll be cool. Very excited for that. But yeah, I've been in higher spirits. I think like the past week or so, or two maybe. Yeah, I feel like I hit a low, and then I was like, I'm tired of feeling this way. And like, I'm remembering like back to like The Artist's Way when I was working on that, and there was this feeling of like hope and like confidence that like even though the future is unknown, it's all gonna work out. And there was like a steadiness in that of like, it'll be fine, it'll all be all good. And I feel like I slipped with that, and so I've been kind of working this past week on trying to like get back to that and reestablishing that like relationship and that hope, to just like look forward to it, even though I can't really picture it, don't know what's gonna happen. Money is tight and stressful. It's okay, like it's worked out so far. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on. So I'm in higher spirits. I've been getting this urge to draw a lot. It's been coming up a lot on my social media, people making just beautiful art. I just think it's so cool to be able to take an image that you have in your mind and then put it on paper and then it's there. I think that's really cool, and it's a skill that like I've never developed. I think I was like thinking back yesterday about when I was a kid, I did draw a lot, and I remember I had this like tracing, it was like not a toy, but it was like this like gadget for kids where you like shine a light and then you can put a drawing and put paper over it so you can see it, you can trace that, and I used to do that all the time. Yeah, so I'm just like, I've been thinking about having the urge to like draw, paint, do that kind of crafting and art, but I haven't been following it. And so this week I'm trying to prioritize following those urges, even if it feels chaotic and it's completely off of the projects I'm working on the side. I just want to be guided by that for a little bit because I think there's some fun in that. So yeah, I started doing that yesterday. I traced my little Kuromi mug. I tried to draw her off of site, which it went well. She's a little chunkier than normal, but I think it's really cute. I just did like a bunch of freestyling things, which was really fun. Yeah, I'm just trying to like tap into my creativity from the fun side, and where I'm not like inhibiting myself, because I think with the stress of money, there was a moment where I was like, I need to start doing things, or like doing certain things for money to like help bring in income. But which like I knew was like wrong, but I needed to learn it for myself again. And I feel like this time like the lesson has stuck. So I'm like taking a step back and kind of slowing down on my crafting stuff, because I just opened up my Etsy shop again. But it was very much with the intent of like just throwing whatever crafts I want to make at it, just to see what happens. And it hasn't been open for long, you know, and like it's still like starting up. But I think what I've found is just I'm wanting to like, I have all these different interests, and I'm wanting to like funnel them or like siphon them into like coming from me, but like having this like underlying theme among all of them that would just like help tie in things and feel less chaotic. And I realized that like I love fantasy stuff. I'm doing the Dragon Age stuff. I play D&D a lot. And I think I've always like, I like didn't realize that I've always put it as like D&D, and like fantasy stuff is like unattainable hobby stuff. Like there's like that's just a thing on the side to do. And I'm like, no, actually I can incorporate that in all the things that I do want to do. Like I have been, like with the Dragon Age deep dive, that's been really helping me just like have a lot of fun and being immersed in that and figuring out different ways of like retelling these stories and getting those across, and like making the music for it is like a completely different vibe to how I normally write music, and that's been fun just to explore and try. And like, yeah, and I've been like DMing a campaign, which has been a lot of fun. And I realized like with like drawing, I'm like, I would love to just be able to draw, you know, D&D characters, draw scenes, the like fantasy books that I love to read. I'm like, I just wish I could, like I see all this artwork other people do and I'm like, I just love that, and I would love to make stuff like that too. So I'm debating doing a slight rebrand to my Craftsy Wafsy Co. shop and making it Craftsy Wafsy Fantasy. And that will kind of help me narrow down the things I'm making, or at least like the themes around it. So I still want to crochet things, I want to do clay things, and yeah, and so I think having that niche of fantasy, I think, would just help me, because there's still so many things I could do within that, which is really exciting to me. But I just get really fueled up about fantasy things, and so I'm like, why don't I just dive into that even more, because that'll feel good. I'm creating the world I want to see, which is a fantasy world. So yeah, that feels exciting, and there's less, I feel there's less of a pressure to be like, I need to do this to make money. It's more, I need to do this because I want to create and like share these things with other people. So yeah, that's exciting, and that's something, there's again less of a rush to it, so I'll be kind of, I think in the new year, starting to implement that stuff and just like slowly build on it. Yeah, because I think it gets so busy at the end of the year, and like I'm trying to finish up a few of my Dragon Age stuff. So I've got one video that's almost done. I've recorded another one, and then I've got one more to like start and finish by the end of the year. So it's like really like two more, well, 2.5. So I got those to finish by the end of the year, and like keeping up with my other things. So yeah, but that's the plan, which I feel really excited about. It feels a lot better. The opportunities are endless, but I can do it with a fantasy lens, which feels exciting. So yeah, I'm just chilling, trying to find that balance of like still working on the things that I need to get done, working, finding times to rest, but also finding times for those creative urges that come, that is like things that I'm like, I feel excited about but I'm not acting on. I'm trying to work on acting on those a bit more again, though it might feel a little chaotic, but I think that's okay. We'll just embrace that for a while. But yeah, that's what's been going on. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I gotta tell you the craziest story that happened this week, which was really a cool experience. Insane and completely out of character, but I'm really happy it happened. I was going to an improv show on a Saturday night, going into the center of the city, walking around. A lot of people are like going out to pubs and all that stuff, having their nights out, and I just have my headphones in, listening to Ashnikko. If you don't know who Ashnikko is, she's a really great artist, but her music is very intense, especially when you're listening to headphones. It's like intense, but like I'm a bad bitch kind of energy. It's very like it amps you up. So I'm walking, feeling really confident, walking down the street, listening to that, and there's a moment like up ahead, there's a woman who's like nicely dressed, has a purse on her arm, and she's on the phone against a building, and she seems kind of upset. And I go, oh, okay. And then this guy in sweats like approaches her, so they look not like that. It doesn't look like they know each other. He approaches her and like grabs her bag, and she's like not letting him have it. And so I go, well, that's wrong. And so I walk right up to him and I go, what are you doing? Really aggressively. I've never been this confrontational in my life. I just went, what are you doing? And then he looked at me, and I still had the music playing in my ears because I didn't have time to pause. I was just like, the music's still playing. I'm going, what are you doing? Ready to fight. And he's like confused for a second, and then he goes, I'm with her. And then by that point, she'd let go of the purse and like was walking away, and she was like crying on the phone. And so I was like, oh, he's not running away with the bag once she let go. So I went, okay, and I just like kept walking. So like the experience itself was very like, how it played out, very silly. I cannot even imagine what that looked like from his perspective of like trying to hold someone, like hold your friend's or girlfriend's purse, and then someone just approaching you being like, what are you doing? It was really funny, especially like me. I was shorter, and just like, I don't know, I can't imagine how that came across. I think that's really funny. But I walked away feeling very confident. I was like, I was amped. Adrenaline was running through me because I've never done that, hardly ever. I don't know if I can remember a time I have. But like, especially that experience of like everything slowed down in my brain. There was no hesitation. I just went, that's wrong. I'm gonna step in. I know exactly how this is gonna play out. I'm gonna walk up and say, what are you doing? Make him realize what he's doing is wrong. And then he's gonna give that purse back to her. That was in my head. I went, that's how it's gonna happen. I was manifesting it. I was seeing a vision of how it was gonna happen. And then he ended up knowing her. And I went, oops, sorry. But it was really nice because I think it felt good to know that, like, because I feel like I haven't had many situations like that happen in front of me, and I'm a person that will freeze like that. Like, there's no question about it. I'm a freezer. I will go and like not know what to do because I'm just taking in everything, trying to process what's going on. And that moment was like the first moment I've like not freezed, and it was nice just to know that like I have it in me to like help someone that I think needs help and like stand up for them in that way. Which was nice, even though that wasn't the situation at all. It was nice to know that I've got that in me. I can do that. So that felt really nice. It was very silly. But yeah, I'm still buzzing about it because I'm like, wow. It's like I unlocked a new part of me that's been there, but I've just never used, never knew how to. So it was really cool. And it was nice to experience something where it's like there were no thoughts happening in my head. I just did it. Which was nice because that's not how I function. I have a million thoughts all at once all the time. So I'm always thinking about how people are going to respond, what they're going to say, what am I going to say, and all that stuff. Where this was just like, didn't even think about what I was going to say. I just walked up and said, what are you doing? It was great. I loved it. It was so simple and clear cut. It was great. Yeah, really funny. So yeah, that was my weekend. What else have I done? I finished reading Onyx Storm, which was really good. I really enjoyed that a lot. I love how it ended as well. I'm really excited for the next book. It's a great, just a great setup for the next one, which I'm really excited about. I was worried I was going to be bummed, but I wasn't. And it's good. Yeah, so now I'm actually reading a new book called The Phoenix Keeper, which I'd found a few months ago that I just had yet to pick up. Yeah, I'm only a chapter in. It's like a fantasy book where there's like mythical creatures that get, this woman works at a zoo to like look after birds. She loves birds. And so far all she's talked about is birds. It's only been one chapter, so like I'll give her that, but I'm concerned that if it's all about birds this whole time, I'm not going to be interested, because it's just a lot of description about the birds and their personalities and all that stuff, and I go, okay, cool, but like what's happening? But we'll see. I'm excited to keep reading, because it's different from things I've read before. Like it feels like it's like a clashing of like modern like zoos versus fantasy creatures in there, which seems really cool. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's all we've really got. I hope you all have a great week. This was 15 freaking minutes, which is awesome. Yeah, have a good week. Take care of yourself. Listen to Florence and the Pews. Oh my god, Florence and the Machines. Everybody Scream album. That is really good, and it's a good one for this time of the season. It calls out your witch, which is really nice. But yeah, that is all. Take care, and I will see you next week.